Moving on with our flood updates, Bangchan Industrial Estate is under serious pressure from rising floods, with factories advised to raise machinery from floor level to prevent damages. Industry Ministry Deputy Permanent Secretary Yongyut Tongsuk said yesterday the estate was operating under Stage 1 of a 3-stage emergency plan after water in the Sansap Canal went a meter above normal levels. The second stage will be triggered if the Sansap Canal goes 1.3 meter above normal, when factories will be told to prepare for evacuation. If the water level goes 1.4 meter above normal, factories will be warned to evacuate. Seri Thai Road, on which Bangchan Industrial Estate is located, was under 20 to 30 centimeters of water when the nation surveyed the area Wednesday afternoon. The road was still navigable by small cars. Organizations have placed some 8,000 2-ton big bag barriers along the inbound and outbound footpaths of Seri Thai Road in a bid to create a channel should flood levels rise to release runoff into Bangchan Canal. But the sandbag barrier is only 10% complete due to a shortage of equipment. Meanwhile, each factory in the industrial estate has brought in larger pumps to expel water into Sansap Canal. 20 companies have temporarily shut down operations for fear of losses due to flood damage. Bangchan Industrial Estate is home to 93 companies with a combined investment of 19.8 billion baht and employing 13,800 workers. So far, some 29 pumps are expelling 500,000 cubic meters of water per day at the estate, with 12 boats helping to accelerate the process.
According to Dr. Virapong Ramangkun, the government is preparing to offer low-interest loans totaling at 50 billion baht to flooded industrial estates in Ayutthaya and Pathum Thani provinces. Virapong, chairman of the National Committee on Reconstruction and Development, said the government will do its best to prevent the repeat of massive flooding next year. He said if we got this massive rainfall again, we must prepare in advance that the damage would not be of this magnitude. All the 7 to 8 industrial parks must be safe in order to restore Thai and foreign investor confidence. We will work with the industrial estate operators and all investors, especially Japanese firms, which account for as much as 70 to 80% of total investment in these industrial estates. In the short term, we will ensure that all factories will be able to resume production as soon as possible. Then we will work on reconstruction of dikes and other defenses. The Finance Ministry will provide the soft loans to investors for these flood prevention projects, he said.
Aphisit Vechachiwa, leader of the Democrat Party, lashed out at Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawat's financial plans for dealing with the worst floods in half a century, saying the economy was under threat. He urged Yingluck to forego certain populist spending policies, such as help for first-time home and car buyers, and to divert the money to flood victims. The government has not reviewed and prioritized the economy and therefore is jeopardizing the next phase of economic management, said the former premier, who was replaced by Yingluck after a July election. He was speaking during a parliamentary debate on the 2012 national budget, which earmarks total spending of about 2.4 trillion baht, some 400 billion baht less than expected revenue. Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawat told lawmakers today her government would proceed with offering tax breaks for people who purchase houses and cars for the first time to stimulate the economy. She said her government has a commitment to fulfill as promised to the people of different sectors of the society. Yingluck's plan to raise 120 billion baht for flood relief by asking each ministry to allocate 10% of its budget was unrealistic, added Aphisit. The Thai floods triggered by months of unusually heavy rains have killed 529 people and damaged the homes and livelihoods of millions around the country. The waters also forced the closure of thousands of factories, interrupting global supply chains, putting more than 500,000 people temporarily out of work, and costing the economy billions of dollars. Apisit noted that the government's forecast of 3.5 to 4% of economic growth this year was higher than the central bank's projection of 2.6%. Gon Jatikawanit, deputy leader of the Democrat, also called for the government to delay all the populist policies by 1 year so that the government still has financial resources available to tackle the needs of the people in the aftermath of the floods. A job creation program that pays 300 baht a day be implemented swiftly to help the unemployed, Gon added.
Two alternative routes heading to the south are expected to be fully recovered by Saturday to be used in place of Rama 2 road that would hardly escape inundation, Transport Ministry Permanent Secretary Supot Saplom said yesterday. Route 340 Bang Bua Thong Suphan Buri is now partly flooded, covering a distance of about 27 kilometers of the entire length of 189 kilometers. The lowest section is 1 meter below the mean sea level between kilometer markers 15 and 19. Flood barriers comprising large rubber jars and round concrete pipes are being built along all inundated sections before flood water is pumped out, he said. After Route 340 and Route 346, Lat Lum Keo, Kampang San are fully dried. Motorists will be advised to use both roads together with the western outer ring road section, which is now flooded but is being recovered to form a road network in place of Rama 2. The ministry is also tackling inundation in certain flooded motorway sections of eastern Bangkok. Transport Minister Sukampon Suwantat said. He repeated the government's and the ministry's stance of letting flood water go out through and along Rama 2 road naturally the way it does, dismissing a proposal to blow it open and create extra channels.